Hello, welcome back. Today it's all about making an adventure, writing an adventure. And we haven't done dungeons for a little while, about 2 months, and I thought it would be nice to do a crypt. We've kind of done tombs before, but a crypt is a little bit different because you usually have multiple corpses in there. So I thought we'd have a look at doing something like that. Today is going to be a little bit different. We'll do things similar to what we've done before, but today will be definitely a little bit different. So my suggestion is grab some food, some drink, make sure you are comfortable, settle back, and we'll get started in a second. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games, D&D, Pathfinder. We're going to make an adventure. We're going to write, create, build our own adventure. It's going to be a crypt, which is essentially just another type of dungeon. It's got a very specific purpose, and I have prepared some material for you. But before I do that, I would like to share some of the resources that I'm using today. So I used Dave's Mapper to build the map. Now, the reason for this is you need to do it fast. If you're making your own adventures, you need to be quick, right? So this will allow you to do it fast. You may not be able to draw everything exactly the way you want, but at least you can get what you need, the structure done fairly quickly. And there's a couple of different options for doing this. And you can change the size as well, which is always handy. We also have, I would like to share a link to my Discord where I have put the map for today. I'm going to show you the map, of course, but if you want to see the map on Discord and you're, interested in downloading it, you can do that as well. But again, it's just generated by tiles or geomorphs, so it's not copyright. It's not my property. It's anybody can do whatever they like with it, essentially. So it's there. So if you're interested, you can pick it up. Fred Huber and Pale Rider, thank you for being here. Now, I have been set a challenge by Fred Huber, who is a patron and a moderator, a patron and a subscriber, should I say. And that is to try to make a crypt, which is usually a place that has multiple locations for burying a corpse. And we're going to do that and make the whole crypt with no undead, because that is the most common thing to do, is to stick undead creatures in there. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to put creatures and monsters in here that feed on the undead. Aha, yes. Exactly. That's a little bit different to what we normally do. So this is the map. There are 15 locations. I feel fairly confident we can get the whole thing done today. And I have done a little bit of homework just in case people get stuck. So this is the first question that we need to put forward. And that is, who does the crypt belong to? So who does the crypt belong to? What individuals are buried here? Okay, that is our question. Who does it belong to, and who is buried here? Those are our questions that we need to answer. We don't need to answer that question straight away. That's fine. That's all right. So our normal process, and since I just mentioned that we're going to hashtag we are going to use no undead. Instead, we're going to populate it with creatures and monsters that feed on the corpses of the undead or on just corpses, basically. Okay, we'll get rid of the hat because it's getting kind of hot. So we are going to use no undead. Okay, so it's mostly scavengers of some kind. Scavengers. So there's another sort of lineup for what we're trying to do. So how do we normally do this? It's pretty simple. You give me the area that you want to build out, so the area number, okay, a description. If you don't know what the description is, that's all right. I will deal with the description if I have to. The description, we're dealing with what are the hazards, traps, if any, puzzles, if any. If you're going to put a puzzle in, please explain to me how the puzzle works. We're dealing with traps, puzzles, monsters. An NPC, at least one NPC. We might struggle today if we're not using undead. I don't know how that's going to work unless we make something in here that can speak other than just whoever gives you the task to do would be the NPC, and that's the only thing we have. That might be a little bit weird. We also want to look at things like treasure. And that should cover most of the aspects that we require for this. Okay, we're doing a location-based adventure so that the location itself can be ported into your campaign, and you overlay whatever events are happening in your adventure, your campaign, rather than trying to build an event-based adventure, which is highly fragile and is easy to self-destruct, frankly. And it's impossible to build in a live stream because everybody will have a different opinion about what should happen next. So rather than it becoming a fight amongst the, the chat, it's better to go location-based, for those of you who are wondering why I'm doing it that way. Anyway, that's sort of our gist. And so I have a document ready to go, and we're going to start building out some sections. Have a think about what you would like to do. There are 2 entry points. It may not be obvious, but entry point is number 1 with the double doors. Entry point number 2 is labeled number 2, and that is actually a hole, and it's a circular room. And there's a hole above this this crypt that allows access to it. Okay, so I've put 2 entry points in. You do not need to worry about the entry points. I will do the other, do the entry points. I know that's a boring thing. Okay, I understand. Cool, but you can fill out the rest. You'll notice that area 12 has got a secret wall or door, and that has got a star in it. So I don't know what you want to put there. It's a round room. It's number 12. 11 is got some dots there. So what those dots might be statues, might be, I don't know, maybe it's hanging coffins for all we know. 10 is a square room with a block in the center and some either pillars or something else that's going on there. 9 is kind of the majority of where your crypts are. So you'll notice that all those little boxes on this room indicate like an alcove. So you can put a body, probably standing up rather than lying down. And then each of these other things, they could be represented as being a little room with a body in it, but we could just say that they are just like sarcophagus, a bunch of sarcophagus set up, and maybe there's a little bit of a raised dais there. You'll notice there's stairs in 7 and a couple of little dots that could be either pillars or bodies that are hanging, I don't know. Number 4 has got a dead end with a door. And you'll see that there's a crossed box. So that might be a pit trap, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a falling block, or I don't know, you decide. 13, 14, and 15, you'll notice that they have like central features of a circle. That could be a well, and they might be just a pit full of burnt, charred bones for, okay, they could be anything. They might be representing something that holds a body, either standing up or lying down. Not all burials were always a rectangular box, so you could do a lot of different things. Okay, so that's sort of the gist of where I'm going with all of this. Now, I didn't create a poll today, which I wish I'd had, but I might have you created a crypt dungeon adventure for a tabletop role-playing game. Okay, have you created a crypt dungeon adventure? A crypt adventure, let's just say crypt adventure. Crypt adventure for a tabletop role-playing game. We'll go here, yes. No. I'm sure more than a few of you have. No. Say incomplete maybe? Incomplete. Incomplete, and then just watching. Okay. All right, I'm not going to change the map, by the way, people. If you have sort of, I want to do something else with it. No, it's not going to redraw the map. Just work with the map we've got, okay? All right. There are some dead ends. You'll notice there are some very obvious dead ends in this location. Okay, so now that we've got that done, let's start building out. Now I know a few of you are thinking, how could you possibly make an adventure that is interesting and fun and not have undead in a crypt? It's stupid. Actually, I don't think it is. I actually think it's really, really interesting. It's really hard to do, I'd imagine, but we're still going to give it a go. So, yeah, there we go. Here is my Google document that we'll be working on today. We'll deal with adventure hooks later. Wandering monsters we don't have to worry about. Main features we won't worry about. Here are our 15 locations. So area 1 is like a double door. So I did a little bit of homework in advance. And we've got a crumbling hole. And I think I'm going to make number 2 the crumbling hole. So I'm going to go here and cut this and put this into 2. This is just a description. What is actually here? Maybe there's nothing here. Maybe it's just an entry point. Sometimes it's good to just have an entry point and have nothing else there. That can be fine. So we go crumbling hole. And we'll go bold, underline, underline. A hole of cracked obsidian with faint runes glowing dimly. Okay, so vines hang through the opening of the hole, while bones litter the ground of this circular chamber. Okay, there is our description. And is there something to find here? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I usually try to put something, even if it's really sort of mundane, I usually try to put something in. I'll make that bold and we'll go like that. I'll do the other entry point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 locations unless people give me descriptions of those locations, and then I'm going to move on. Okay, that's sort of the workflow I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go do 2, come back, see what chats has to say, and then incorporate as many of your ideas as I possibly can. Okay, that's how I'm going to do it. Corpse alcove. Okay, well, I feel like we've got a room that's kind of like that already, which, if I remember right, is 9. So I might as well just chuck that in now. That's got part of the description already. So let's just take that and go copy. No, cut. We're going cut. And we'll go 9 is, yeah, it's 9. It's location 9. So here. And there we go. Corpse alcove. Okay, and we'll go bold, underline. Dozens of niches in the wall hold mummified remains. Some clench weapons. And some clench weapons. We've got quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's mention the 6. 6. Sag. Oh, I hate that word. Sorry. Are set into the center on a slightly raised dais. Is that right? Dais, something like that. So there's probably a lot going on here. Treasure, question mark about that. And we'll go bold here. And I probably, why am I, yeah, it's hot here. It's where the hat's hot, off, and stone coffin. That's really what it is. Stone coffin. Actually, let's just call it a stone coffin for now. coffins are set into the center here. Duh. Okay, so I've done 2 locations. Let's go back to chat and see what you guys have had to say. All right, I'm sure you've come up with some ideas. Back we go, and let's have a look. Oh, it's quiet today. All right, everybody's waiting for me. Okay, so I guess I'd do another 2. It's all right to just chuck in some ideas and just see if they stick. You never know. To give you an idea in terms of creatures that had been suggested by Fred Huber and a few others, Glenn from Mr. Welsh, the YouTube channel, and a couple other people as well, actually. I think maybe even Derp. Carrion crawler. We can use carrion crawlers. We could use rot grubs. That would make sense in a crypt with lots of bodies. We could use the giant centipede because it would feed on carrion, I guess, on leftover bits. Giant spiders would generally feed off whatever's living in here because it needs living, it needs blood, fresh blood. So spiders, maybe, spiders could be set up in Area 2 or even close to Area 2. We can have the giant scorpion because they tend to feed on just about anything. We've got the ant lion. I don't really know very much about the ant lion. I've got no idea really what it is. We could include grave robbers who are currently robbing the grave, or the crypt area, should I say. We could use the grey ooze and the ochre jelly because they would not simply wipe everything out and just consume everything. The grey ooze and the ochre jelly tend to only sort of consume flesh and bone, so they're not going to eat necessarily all of the metal and other things that might be left behind. So yeah, brown mold. We can't use green slime or yellow mold because they're so they take over quite a lot, so it might not be appropriate. Rats or giant rats might be a nice inclusion. Somebody had even mentioned maybe were rats are involved. I don't know. Living statues. So constructs. We might have some guardians that guard the crypt as well. So there's a couple of different options there, okay, to consider. Anyway, let me do another location, or 2 locations, and we'll see how we're going. So what did I do here? I think I had so we've got an idol shrine. I don't really write very much for that. A broken well. Almost could tie this into Area 2, this one here, the broken well, although maybe not. Hall of Blades, no. The rune door. Now the rune door, we've got a dead end. We could actually use that. Because if you have a look on the map, number 4 has just got a dead end on it. So we could go to number 4 and include that there. And did I get it? Hopefully. And then paste. All right, rune door. And so we'll go bold, underline, format as I go. A heavy iron door. Covered with glowing runes. We probably also need to include sort of a little bit of information, so we might have to have a GM note. We might even be able to include something like a mimic in a place like this. It would be kind of obvious to include a mimic as a door. We might just have a door that just opens and goes somewhere else. Like you could literally open it and it takes you to the afterlife. I don't know. GM note. And we'll come back to that. And treasure. We might have a trap, because there is a trap very close to 4. I think that square box that's crossed is probably a trap of some kind. So trap. We probably need to indicate what we're doing with that. And I will just put in a note, pit or falling block. Falling block. I think a falling block would be more interesting, but it would also block off that passage, making it inaccessible. So something to consider. So we'll go here. We're probably going to have a trap. With GM notes about the door. We need to do that at some point. Door, question mark. Treasure. Don't know what that is yet. And we'll mark that down. Bolt. Cool. So that's one. I'm going to drink some more water and chuck a lozenge in my mouth. Okay. So, moving along. Is there more of a description we could include here to make this more interesting for the rune door? Yes, maybe, but we'll see how we go. A glyph room, emanating heat, a black pool, reflects no light. I feel like that could easily be 13, 14, or 15. An Iron Maiden chamber with a rusty old Iron Maiden. A shadow chamber filled with strange shadow shapes that constantly move. Not very interesting if you ask me. A crypt garden. I don't know why you would have a crypt garden, but maybe you can have a garden in a crypt. Yeah. A soul fountain. Basically a fountain with blue liquid radiating energy, probably full of souls. Mausoleum entrance. Now, I don't know if I want to call this the mausoleum entrance, but 2 iron doors are surrounded by stone and an archway etched with runes decorated by weathered gargoyles. Inside, cobwebs cling to every surface. So that there could easily be area 1, the entrance that we have. We have a burial chamber. We have a chain chamber. I don't know why you'd have chains there, but okay. Maybe if you're hanging coffins, you know, either wooden coffins or iron coffins or stone coffins with chains, maybe you could do that. An ash shrine. A bone pit, I think that's kind of an interesting idea. A dripping crypt, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to be about, but just something that's wet, right? Statue halls, pretty simple stuff. Keeper's vault, I'm not too sure what I want to do with that. Forgotten hall, the black reliquary, and the soul portal. So there's a couple of different things we could play with here. Unless, of course, you guys have got better ideas, which I hope you do. So let's go with going here, take this. And I think what we'll do is we're going to say that this location is a mausoleum that really leads into a full-blown crypt. That's probably the best way to go. Mausoleum is usually above ground and not below ground. Unless, of course, I'm wrong about that, and you let me know if I am. Okay? But I'm pretty sure it is. So we'll go here. Mausoleum entrance. Bold underline. 2 iron doors are surrounded by stone, by a stone archway, etched with runes decorated by weathered gargoyles. Inside, cobwebs cling to every surface. So we need to do a couple of things here. Gargoyles are something we could definitely use in the front of our entrance. We don't have to lock the door. We could have the doors not locked. That would be fine. Gargoyles. Gargoyles come to life if anyone tries to enter, I guess. And treasure. I don't think we need to put a trap here because I think those guardians are probably more than enough. And we probably need to designate how many guardians we have. So 2 comes to life. Let's bold this. If somebody got a better idea, you let me know. I will chuck it in. So have I done 4? I've done 4. 4 now. So that's 2. I've done 2. Back to chat. There we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got, people. Here we go. Fred Hooper. Oh, he's retracted his message. Okay, all right. That was quick. The tomb. Let's make it a mausoleum to one of the PC's ancestors, and I think that's a great idea. Derp is patron and also a subscriber. That's a great idea. I love that. Yes, let's take this. And I'm going to drop that straight away because he's actually answered the first question. What did I just do? Did I do something stupid? Yes, I did. Apparently I did. Paste again. There we go. Got it right. And let's take this idea and go copy, bring this across, paste, bold, underline the mausoleum, houses one of the character's ancestors. That needs restoration. Something like that. And yeah, so we've got like Overboard. Overboard is a moderator and also a patron. Thanks for being here, Joe. Okay. Crypt belongs to a magic user order. Okay. All right. Could well be. There may be one of their order is buried here. So I'm going to drop that into features. So I've taken one of your ideas and made it an adventure hook. Because as you may not be aware, but me and Dirk and Fred Huber were discussing this the other day. So we kind of already knew what would be a sort of a starting hook. 6, nest of giant rats. Okay, 6 is, yes, all right, a nest of giant rats. Living statues filled with green slime, yellow mold, black. Well, the rot grubs are fine. I feel like the rot grubs should be feeding on a body though, wouldn't they? Green slime's probably too much. Living statues fine. Black pudding would just consume everything. Yellow mold. And I can't remember the reason for not using yellow mold because I had to think about this with somebody else. But number 6, we want to put in number 6. And I think if it's a rat nest, there has to be something going on here. It's an interim room, number 6, if I remember right. It is. It's sort of, yeah, it's definitely an interim room of some kind. So you're kind of passing through. It's not really a burial chamber. It's not really a pit of some kind. It feels like it could be a statue. Long forgotten statues line the walls with their faces worn. That could be part of what we're doing here. There's always a room that sort of fills that purpose, right? It's better if it's long rather than not. We don't have a lot of long rooms. We do have a we need to give it some sort of description though. What would it be? That's the question. All right, so let me go back. I'll take that idea, Fred Huber, and your rock grubs. Pale Rider, we need to include some rock grubs here and probably something else. 12. There is a stuck grave robber here. Pounds on the side of the secret door when he hears PCs. Got stuck trying to steal a relic. Okay, I actually like that idea. That's pretty clever. So I need to make sure I do that and that from Pale Rider and from Fred Huber. So what are we doing here? 12. Okay, let's transfer over. Transfer over to the other screen and deal with 12. Okay, 12. I think I've got that. So it needs to be something that would be important. So we've got it. This is basically a GM note. Yep. So we really got an NPC here, which is actually a nice way of tying it in. So it's a grave robber. A black it's a circular room with a single obsidian pedestal. Cut. I think that's 12 now. That circular room just made its way in. GM note. NPC. A circular room with a single obsidian pedestal. A single obsidian pedestal. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not too sure else what we want to put here. We have to mention the secret door. The secret door is usually hard to find, except there is noise, there is shouting, coming from the hallway. It is in when the characters arrive. Just walk past. Okay. There is our note. We want an NPC. We will need a name for our NPC. And we have a relic. So name, personality. I think their motive is pretty obvious. We don't have to worry about the motive. They're trying to get out and rob the place. So we don't have to say too much more. Grave robber. We need to treasure at some point. And that will have to be this relic. What sort of relic are we talking about? I don't know. Okay, so that got us number 12. We'll go back to number 6. And we've got to get a monster. We want basically a rat nest in here. Is there anything we can use? An idol shrine. A broken well. No. Blade. Hall of Blades. No. The glyph room. Don't think that works. Shadow chamber. A garden of withered plants growing from cracks. So, is that going to make sense though? That's the question. It's so far in, I feel like it would be much more sensible as number 3. So probably not. So let's go the garden. Let's put that there. Paste. Okay. And then bold underline. Do I want to do anything more with that? A garden of withered plants grows from the cracked stone. That's probably good enough as a description. Is there something else here? I don't know. Deal with that later. You guys will come up with ideas, I'm sure. Bold. Okay, moving on. What else do we have here? We're trying to build out number 6, aren't we? Fountain, a burial chamber. No, probably not. Chains, ash. Screaming face, bone pit, dripping. Keeper's vault, forgotten. Let's do this. And let's go here. Cut and we'll put in this nest. So chamber. Now it's not a long chamber, it's going to be a different shape. It's more of a, well, how many sides has it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. A hexagon shaped chamber inscribed with countless names and glowing script. Okay. Find a monster. A nest of giant rats has made its home in the center of the room. Why am I getting... Oh, that's not the word center, is it? A nest of giant rats has made their home. Okay, bold this. Bold and underline. Monster. Bold. Treasure. I don't know. We'll worry about that later. And that's that. Pardon me. We needed to do the rot grubs. So we need something that can incorporate Pale Rider's desire to include rot grubs, and I'm all for it. So let's rot grub this little sucker up. What could be interesting? The Iron Maiden, we could have a body inside there full of rot grubs. That would be interesting. I think that would be fun. The burial chamber, I think I don't know about a circular chamber, but we do have 6 stone coffins arranged symmetrically. So do we have anything that would be able to be used like that? Do you know, number 11 feels very tempting, like we could do something like that here. Because there are how many dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, okay, 8. I don't know what shape you would call that. It's like a half pie shape. I don't know what's a half pie shape. Okay, 8 stone coffins. So let's take that and include it, and let's stick rot grubs in the little sucker. Do they want to be stone or they want to be wood? I feel like they could be stone and still be, it could still be a, yeah, let's do this. So that's going to be number 11. Paste. Burial chamber. And instead of calling it burial chamber, I think I'm going to call it hanging coffins. Now it's not a circular room. What's a half? What's the name of a quarter pie shape? What is that? Do we know? Quarter circle, a quadrant. The shape of a quarter of a pie is called a quadrant. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Make it real simple, and we'll drop that in. Paste. A quadrant shaped room with 8 stone coffins hanging from the ceiling with chains. Let's do that. And then we want a monster, and we're going to fill up little rock grubs to make that a little bit more interesting. We probably need a GM note about what the condition of the bodies are in here, or something like that, or how easy is it to get them open. Probably shouldn't be that hard. So a quadrant shaped room with eight, is it cylinder? Cylinder. Cylinder, stone coffins hanging from the ceiling with chains. Okay, so we've got that. Our monster, I think we've got one sentence that covers pretty much the description of that location. Sometimes it's pretty hard to get it all in one place, but okay. The 8 corpses in the coffins are full of rot, grub, swarms. Yeah, oops, that's not the word grub. Grub swarms. So we have just set ourselves a vastly more nasty monster there than most of the other things so far. And then we've got to have treasure, something that didn't get eaten by the rot grubs maybe, but we'll deal with that later. So have I done enough? Do I need to do another one? I think I need to go back and check chat and see what other ideas they come out with. Did I include all the ideas that Pale Rider had put forward? I've got the rot grubs in. I think he mentioned something else. I can't remember what it was. Okay, all right. Let's go back to chat. Update time. What else we got here? Oh, here we go. So living statues. Right. So we've got to deal with some living statues. Oh, and we've got somebody who's already set out number 11. 11 is a set of statues of important family members. The room is infested with giant black widow spiders. Okay, so I've kind of already done that, but we could do, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could probably switch it over and make number 10 that, and then that one would be statues. The dots don't necessarily need to be like we don't have to have dots in a room to have that. So number 11, let's see what we do. You want to do that close to an entry point, right? That's why you want the giant spiders there. So statues, so I can kind of maneuver things around a little bit to make that work. Is there a crystal skull on a pedestal in the center of the room, or maybe there are many holes in all 4 walls of this room? Okay, I'm not too sure what we're trying to get at here, Joe, but you tell me. You decide, which room are we talking about? What do you want to do with that? Because I don't know from what you're trying to say right now. Okay, so if we're going to include that, I need to do a little bit of adjustment to get things to move them around to make it work. Paste. Paste. Take that idea and then take number 11, and then we need to switch that round. So, okay, let's see if I can make that happen. It's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, I think I can do that. 10 to 11. We'll switch over that way. 11 goes to 10, 10 goes to 11. Okay, all right, let's try that. The hanging coffins. So yeah, all right, paste. This is what we're going to use, but first we need to move this. The A, and the hanging coffins and we go here, cut, and it's going to 10, which is just above. There. Oh, don't do that. I don't want to have to reformat everything. Don't do that again. Let's try that again. Well, we get it this time. Yes, we did. Well done. Okay, it's not a quadrant-shaped room, though. It is a square room. A square room. And then we need to take the quadrant idea and then cut that, and we'll take it over here. Yeah, something like that. Paste. All right, so a square-shaped room with. Okay, so I need to add in a little bit more of a description because 10 has got a big, huge stone pillar in the center. A 5-foot wide stone pillar is built to the center. Okay, all right, so I think I got the hanging thing. Now we need to deal with your statues. And I had a description, so I can include your idea, important, and the Black Widow spiders. We just need to find that. Where was it? I had a description here of something. Yeah, the statue hall. So let's go here, cut. And you want that to go into 11. Paste. Let's remove this. Statue hall. Bold, underline. Statues a lot now. It's not necessarily long forgotten heroes, because you wouldn't even know that. That's way too much information. So we need to cut. Take this, blend it with that, and paste. Okay, so there's 8 statues. I'm thinking this is 8 statues. 8 statues. With worn faces. 8 statues line the walls. Of this quadrant shaped chamber. And then chamber, and then we're going to go here. Whoops. The statues' faces have worn away and are well. And have no features. Okay, so have no features. So we need a GM note here. Note. The set of statues, set of statues are important family members that can only be identified by the plaque at the base of each statue. So, which means we would have to have a bucket load of names, which is not my favourite thing to be having to do, but names, blah blah blah, I'll deal with that later, and then monster. So, GM note, I didn't give away too much in my description, I'm pretty sure, good, and then monster infested with spiders, with let's just say 2, or is it 4? 2, 4 giant black widow spiders. End of story there. Come to the end of that. Oh, black widow spiders. I did it twice. Treasure. Question mark. I think I got it. I think I got it all moved around and sorted out. How's my time going? We're about almost halfway through. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more rooms to go. Okay, so I think I've done. Have I done 2 rooms or just 1? I can't remember. I think that's 6, isn't it? No, 6. Oh, I'm supposed to do 1 more. That's right. I'm supposed to do 1 more. So let's do 1 more. Why the heck not? Let's do something for 15. Nobody said anything about 15. And I don't know about Bone Pit. Do I want to call it something else? Soul Portal, Bone Pit. I think I wanted to do something that what's the word? It's burials often happened in sort of pits or circular, well-like looking structures. Not everybody did it in a rectangular structure, so I think we should include sort of like a bone pit here. I can paste this. The bone pit. Let's see here. A pit filled with burnt and broken bones with a broken bones. Okay, broken bones. The stone lid has cracked in half and fallen into the pit, creating jagged rocks, jagged points. Okay, so there we go. And then what else do we want to do with that? We hadn't really talked about this a lot, had we? Let's go here with, now, somebody had said something about animated statues, and I still haven't done animated statues, but we have a place where statues are. So let's go here. This is treasure. I think that has got at least 2 rooms done. Okay, so now I can go back. 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's 1 more to do. Okay, all right. So I'm working at the right pace. At least that's something. Keep the pace moving, Fred. Keep the pace moving. Okay, so I think I moved that around and it works. 10 is... All right, we've got a description of the central pillar in 10. Wonderful. Like that idea. Let me just take this, port this across. We haven't really populated it with that many monsters at this present time, so still place to do that. Central pillar. With add description. Right, yeah, add to the description. Yep. 9 has got treasure. Where's 9? Where's 9? Where's 9? Where's 9? Where's 9? Treasure. The corpses were interred with gems. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, I see what you're trying to do here. All right, Fred, I'll come back to that. So let's take this for 10. And how do I do this? I need to take this. Oh, not the suggestions. Take that off the suggestion thing. Okay, paste. Oops, that didn't work. Let's try that again. I don't know why it does that to me. Paste. Okay. A 5-foot stone pillar built in the center. Covered in frescoes. Whoopsies, that's not right. Frescoes. Frescoes depicting life events. I want to say family events because you wouldn't know that. That's too much information. So that's that. Okay, I got that in. And what was the other one? You had the treasure, right. We've got the corpse for 9, so we're going to put in some treasure up there. 9. We don't often get somebody actually come up with, I'm going to put treasure in here, but that's cool. I'm glad. I'm so pleased. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I've marked that. We're going to go back to the document so you can see what I'm doing. Since I've finished copying and pasting, we should be able to go back to here. So here we go. So this is the corpse alcove. We did that. We did the central, that was number 10. 10, yes, I changed that. Yeah, I made that adjustment. The corpses were interred, I don't know what interred, with gems, jewelry, and ceremonial armor. Jewelry, ceremonial armor and weapons. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here. The weapons and armor. And armor. Aren't suitable for combat, but might be valuable to a collector. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's that section. Okay, so now I need to do some more locations. Right. So what have we finished? What have we not finished? I haven't done 5. What does 5 look like? 5 is, where is 5? 5 is just a square room. And then we got 7, 5, and we've got 7 and 8. 7 is interesting. 8 is like an interim room again. The more standout rooms are 13 and 14. I might do 13 and 14 now, just to get them out of the way. So 13 and 14 feel like they are circular in some, so they almost feel like they should have a particular purpose. What else do we want here? Glyph room, a black pool. Like let's put a black pool with no reflecting light. Let's go here. Cut. Let's make, is it 13 or 14 I want to stick it into? I think we should make it 13. Bad luck, it's 13. Bad luck. So here, paste. The black pool. And we go bold underline. A black pool of water. That reflects no light. The brick let's say the brick, is it border? The brick border, board, surrounding the pool, is covered in brown fluffy fluffy covered in brown fluffy stuff. I don't know, fluffy stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's not the best description of a location. Surrounding the yes. Monster. That is not what I want. There we go. Monster. Brown mold is growing on the bricks. Growing on the bricks. Okay, that's that. And we'll go bold underline. No, not bold underline, just bold. And then treasure. I haven't put a note in this. I think we should have a GM note, but that should be after. GM note. There are skeletal remains under the water's surface. Okay, make that a GM note. Bold. Treasure, I don't know what the treasure is going to be. There we go. Treasure, and where am I? Need to do another one, and we're now at the half hour, the 1 hour mark, or just over the 1 hour mark. So we need 14 to be something fairly interesting as well. So a statue. the idol, look, the idol shrine, you know, seriously, I think we just make that, and that black ichor, we could easily just make that number 7. That would be so easy to just do, and leave it as such. So let's go here, cut. I feel like that's 7. Instead of 1, we'll make 2, and there's stairs leading down from 7. So we'll do that now. Paste. The idol shrine. Bold. A statue. 2 statues. 2 statues of hooded figures are weeping black ichor. We need to have a description, so we need to sort of indicate there is a staircase here, because there is stairs. Okay, so a set of stone stairs lead down. Let's not make it too far. Lead down, say 10 feet to a small square room. 2 statues, so we've got that. What's going on there? I don't know. GM note. We're dealing with a monster here. It could be grey ichor, and then that would be a grey ooze. Let's just do that. Let's stick it in. Monster. And 2 grey oozes are covering the statues. So, whoops, did I do something bad here? Bold. It's dropped down, I don't know why. It hasn't messed everything up completely, but it locks. I don't think so. No, it doesn't. I don't think so. Okay, so that's 2 great oozes right there. GM note. I don't know what we're doing with the GM note there. Is there anything else that needs to be said? I don't know. Treasure. Okay, so that's that one. Bold, underline. I've done 2, haven't I? So that must mean I go back to chat to see what you guys have had to say. I've got 1. Is it 1, 2 places left? No, 3. I've got 3 in total. So we're doing all right. In terms of getting things done, we're actually doing pretty well, if you ask me. That's the good thing about only 15 locations. Okay, what do we got next? Here we go. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. Expo 4 is a falling block. Yes, thank you for the trash smasher. So that's a trap. We probably need to include some sort of check to avoid it, or you know, how hard is it to spot that? Is it activated by a pressure plate? I think we go pressure plate. Pressure plate would be the sensible thing, right? You step on the pressure plate in that area, and it's a 10-foot space, 10-foot square space. Down comes trap. So you could step on it from pretty much any location, depending on which route you take, which would be probably the best way to go. Okay, so the trash smasher. Okay, 7 is trapped gibbering mouther has taken residence in his prayer alcove. 7? Oh, I don't think so. I think look, you sold me, Fred, on let's not stick in here anything in here that doesn't make any sense, and I don't feel like the gibbering mouther makes that much sense that we've got a gibbering mouther here. I'm going to go with the grey ooze. Didn't you say before, let's ditch the idea of the gibbering mouther? Didn't you, Fred? I'm sure you did. Anyway, I like using the giant cobra statue. Players never trust that it's just a statue. No, well, that's the problem, isn't it? Is it gives itself away a little bit too much. Hello, Calrel, how are you? Welcome back. 14, 20 large vipers come out of the holes in the pillars. Oh my god. Okay. So vipers are basically snakes, and that's a lot of snakes. We're going very Indiana Jones here, aren't we? Dear. I think it would be worse if it would be in Area 5. Like 14, it could be that, but it would be much worse if it's room 5 because there's doors, there's no open doorways. 14's like, I feel like the vipers would probably be better in Area 5 because all those doors could potentially lock as well if you wanted to. But 14, yes, let's do 20 large vipers. I can see that happening. They come out of is it the east wall? Probably. That'd be the way to go, I'd imagine. I'm not actually against the idea of a giant cobra statue. Now, we could actually we had a floating pedestal in 12. We could make that a giant cobra statue on a dais or a pedestal. That might be the way to go. I feel like we're going very snake themed today, but let's take our vipers and we'll take our giant cobra statue idea, and I think that's going to be 12. I think that's probably pretty obviously that. So if I go to 5. And I paste this, and then we've got monsters. 20 large. Uh, 20 large vipers come out of the holes in the east wall. East wall. I need to don't forget the trap. That's right, number 4. I've got to make sure I get the trap right, don't I? All right, what else do we got here? Yes, we're going to do the giant scorpion statue in 12. And okay, and then I'm going to go back and make sure I get 4 down. So 12, 12, 12, 12. A circular room with a single obsidian pedestal. Here we go. Oh, darn it. I did it again. Let's try that again. Sorry. With a giant cobra statue. Okay, so we've got that sorted out, and then we need to go back to 4 and get your trap that you had highlighted that we need to put in there, and we need to sort that out. I've got to be careful I don't get too confused here. There's a lot of moving parts here, but interesting. I don't know about Yuanti. Snake themed, I don't want to go Yuanti. Screw Yuanti. We can have our own snake theme and it not be Yuanti. And it's pretty. I mean, how many does snake themes come up? It could be a lot of different things. Might be something else as well. You never know. It's a falling block, so I need to make sure I do that. Okay, let's go back to chat. I've almost got all my locations marked out now, and 14 minutes in. Okay, we need a relic. We need the name of a relic, something that's really important. If you want to make it magical and put it in 12, I'm all for it. If they find it early, I couldn't care less. players have a tendency to go and adventuring and looking around for more stuff. If they think they find something good, they want to keep going back. So that's all good. So we need a relic. So maybe you can come up with that, Joe. A relic that's snake themed, that's magical and does something. I don't know what you want to do with that, but you know, you let me know. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to try to figure out how to do our trap for 4. So pressure plates, a falling block trap activates when anyone stands on the 10-foot wide food wide. Yeah, food is wide. Feet wide, foot wide, 10 stands on the 10 foot wide pressure plate dropping a 4 stone blocks. Stone blocks that cause, let's go 5d6 blood damage. For those of you who are thinking I'm designing for 5e, yes, you could use it for 5e this adventure, but my home group is playing Shadow Dark and my Shadow Dark book arrived. I was amazed that it showed up so soon. Honestly, I was not expecting that, but I now have the official Shadow Dark book. Really expensive. I'll tell you that now. Cost me a bucket load of money to get it to New Zealand. It cost me about, I think my shipping fee was more than half the price of the book and the PDF. That's how much it was. But I'm glad I have it because I'm more likely to buy this than 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. And having more fun with it, and so is my group. Dropping 4 stone blocks that cause 1 blunt damage. If characters fail a DC 15 dexterity check. Check or saving throw. There we go. I have just covered 2 different systems with a very long sentence. Is it going to be too much? A falling block trap activates when anyone stands on the 10-foot wide pressure plate, dropping 4 stone blocks that cause 4d6 bludgeoning damage if characters fail a DC 15 dexterity check or saving throw. Saving throw to avoid them. Okay. How would you see them? How hard are they to find? Let's go very old school. A pressure plates for the trap can't be found without prodding, prod it prodding the, that's not the right word, prodding the floor. The pressure plates for the trap can't be found without prodding the floor with sticks without touching the floor with sticks. Throwing stones, etc. Why am I doing that? Because you probably wouldn't see the pressure plate. If it's a good trap, you wouldn't see it. So it's very old school to find it. And then I probably need to say what it does on top of that. Can you still move through that space? I don't know. So moving past the fallen blocks. Blocks is difficult terrain and slows movement by half. Probably didn't need to say all of that, but yeah, there we go. We didn't say anything about the door, the ruined door. We can come back to that later, that's fine. Let's deal with our 20 Vipers in room 5, which we need something that sort of makes that work. The broken well, no. Hall of Blades, no. The glyph room might be interesting. I like the Iron Maiden chamber, but that's a torture chamber. It doesn't make any sense. Why am I putting that there? Emitting heat. I don't think we'd have heat if we're going to have Vipers coming out of the walls. The Ash Shrine. Well, we've got a shrine already. Soul of, yeah, Keepers. I don't know that I like any of those very much. Okay, so we've still got to do 14 and 8, and I'm running out of really good ideas to stick in there, if you ask me. Anyway, let's go back to chat and see if I can tidy up what is in chat. Here we go. Nagas. Nagas. Well, we've got snakes. Snakes and Nagas. No. Was it Nagas are kind of a snake, aren't they? Yes, overseas shipping is costly. Yes, Oscar Gross, you are so right. It was brutal. But I'm still glad that the book showed up. So I was expecting to see it sometime next year. I was also worried that my postal service would just not even deliver it at all. 5, the Crystal Boa of Viral Figurine of Wondrous Power. Okay, all right, so here we go. My general feeling is this Crystal Boa figurine of Wondrous Power. Okay. Ruby gems in the eyes of the statue, or maybe the serpent staff called the slithering staff. Ah, I see. Okay. All right, so we've got treasure for 5. I haven't done all of 5, but Calrel will take your idea. I'm fine with that. We need some treasure in here. There's not a lot going on right now, so we've got a monster. Let's put in some treasure. And we probably need to sort out there. A crystal boa figurine. I don't know what a viral of A crystal boa figurine. Let's see if I can get that right. That name is just way too way too long. Figurine boa. Boat. No, it's a boa. It doesn't know what a boa is. Figurine of wondrous power. Wondrous power. Okay. And what it does, I don't know. We'll do all that later. But I've got that in. We've got that. It's a monster. Okay, cool. What else was there that I needed to transfer over? Next thing. Yes, the ruby gems. Eyes. The slithering staff. Yes, absolutely. There we go. We want to have that. Control snakes. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. I'll take that. That's going into 12, right? Because that is our relic. Okay. It is 2 ruby gems. 2. Do I have enough information from what I've got to be able to just transfer straight over? And the staff control snakes. I just need to tidy this up. Paste. Yes. And Amazon delivers in an average of 3 days. Not paying premium. Yeah. Yeah, constrictor snake. Probably is going to be easier just to say constrictor snake. Come, Oscar, you're absolutely right. And maybe that's what I'll do. Is I'll just put in the word constrictor snake, and that'll solve a lot of our problems. That was in 5, wasn't it? Okay. Let's see. Done that. Okay, I think I've got most of the bits and pieces on from the chat that I needed to grab. We still got 2 more locations to do with. We need descriptions for. But let's keep going. And let's see if we can get this mostly done. How am I doing for time? I'm doing all right. Okay, all right. So I have kind of pushed things around too much and messed up my positioning. But it's not as bad as it looks because I believe that there is 14. That is the bone pit. There's only 15 locations. Black is 12. Pull. Okay, so this is what I've done here. I've kind of messed with that a little bit. So I can take that across. I can take this out because that doesn't need to be there. Okay, that's better. I need to fill in these. I need to do the slithering. So 2 ruby gems. 2 ruby gems and the gems are in the eyes of the snake statue or cobra statue. Fine, got that. Okay. Worth, I don't know. It's not worth, is it? Worth, let's go 100 gold pieces each. The serpent staff, a serpent staff, a. Do we need to say that? A serpent staff called the slithering. Okay. No, we don't need to say that. We just need to say this. The slithering staff. The slithering staff is a relic that controls all snakes. With a magical charm effect. Perfect. That was easy. Nice. Okay. Controls. And I have to make sure it's the word controls, not control. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so couple of locations to consider that I need to fill out. I haven't done 5, I haven't done 8, and I haven't done 13. So I need to just make some decisions and get some shit done. And I probably need to deal with 5 because I didn't say 20 large vipers come out of the holes in these. Well, no, I did. I've done that bit. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I just need to have a thing. Make some decisions, Fred. Glyph room. There we go. Glyph room. Emanating heat. No, I don't know about emanating heat. Our snakes are drawn to temperature. They're a warm-blooded creature, right? Are snakes drawn to heat? And I think they are. Snakes are cold-blooded and prefer a specific temperature range. They are not always drawn to heat. So they're not always drawn to heat. Okay. Snakes most active when the temperature is between. Okay, So they don't like it too hot and don't like it too cold. But will retreat to find shade. Okay. On cooler days, snakes may come out of the opening, out into the open to sunbathe. Okay, so warm. We can not heat, but warmth. Cut. Our glyph room is in. It is obviously been set up to cause trouble. No, not suggestion. Editing. Paste. The glyph room. Glowing glyphs pulsate on the walls, emitting warmth. Mild warmth. Warm. There we go. We've got it. There's our room description. There is our monster. We've determined how it works. We haven't decided exactly all the information on that, but it's not the important thing. We have to get number 8 done, and we have to get number 13 done. Okay. And I've got about half an hour to go. All right, sweet. The broken well, dried up well with ornate iron cover. I don't think you would put a well in a crypt, so I don't think we're going to be doing that. No, I don't think so. The Hall of Blades. Broken weapons are strewn across the floor, and an eerie wind whistles through the cracks. I don't know that does that even make any sense? I mean, I suppose you could do that, but the shadow thing, no, I think that's kind of shit. Let's get real. This is a nothing burger, that one. The soul fountain. I'm kind of tempted to put a soul fountain in here. Let's go here and cut this one out. It's not really. Is it a soul fountain? Do we want to put an actual fountain in here? Yes, we do. We definitely do. The soul fountain. Bold underline. Each one of these things is, this is probably the lightest and most radiant area. Okay, so a fountain of blue, of pale blue liquid. Springs. strings out of a pool of water radiating bright light. Okay, there's something weird going on here. So what I want to do is I want to give you something that's maybe not a monster, but something that's kind of strange. GM node. The pool of water contains the memories. The memories. No, that's not right. Memories of all the individuals buried in the crypt. Complex. Something like that, and then treasure. I don't know, we'll think about that a little bit later. And then go bold here, bold. Go bold here, bold. And that's 15. And I'm sure there's one more location I need to do. 8. Area 8. I need to do area 8. And then we can put monsters in here. Time to get some monsters going in these different locations. And we need to deal with some treasure and maybe some traps and some hazards and whatever else. We don't have an awful lot of information on the NPC, but there's at least one NPC. If you make an adventure, give the players at least one NPC to talk to, even if they are going to probably just kill them. I know that happens, but we've done that. We've done our job. The Iron Maiden, I don't like this. I don't like a lot of these because it just doesn't feel like it fits with a crypt. The soul portal idea, I feel like maybe that door this here, opening the door reveals a glowing portal in the center. That would be some seriously screwed up shit. And if it leads to the ethereal plane or the afterlife, that would be some funny stuff. It reminds me of Poltergeist. You guys remember Steven Spielberg's Poltergeist? I feel like that's what we should do with that. The door. Opening the door. Paste. Opening the door reveals reveals. No, that's not reveals. Reveals a glowing portal that hums ominously and leads to the afterlife. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's have some Planar Traveler. Afterlife, ethereal plane, treasure. Okay, so we got that door sorted out, and then I needed to get 8 knocked out. We need a description of that location. Something that is interesting. I kind of like the idea of blackened ash, but I don't like the idea of a shrine. We've got enough shrines going on here, but maybe we can do something with this. Let's go cut here, and then if I go to 8, and where is 8? 8 is connected to 9 and 7. Okay, All right. Yep, 9 and 7. So we're going to put an 8. And the ash. Is it crematorium? That's not the word crematorium. Crematorium. Yeah. Here we go. Bold, underline. A blackened. Now, we need to get a blackened. And I want to put altar. What is it? A blackened hexagon shaped room covered in ash. Perfect. That's what we want. Above a car, no, above. On the ceiling, is a carved stone carving of a screaming face. Okay, I think that's the sentence I needed to get in there. Took me a little while. Took a little while. I don't know. Treasure. Who knows? We need some monsters in this little sucker as well. But we've got our locations, and I think most of this other stuff is probably unnecessary. The broken well. Ornate cover, I don't know. We can put an ornate iron cover on something, but do we need to? Probably not. The blades, I don't feel like it fits. The Iron Maiden is more a torture chamber. Clinking chains, I've kind of done hanging chains and so many things before. The dripping thingy, no, that's all nonsense. Let's get rid of that shit. And yeah, I don't know about these, but they're not selling it for me. Anyway, so we need to do some adventure hooks. But we need some monsters, and I've got a bit of time, so let's deal with some monsters, shall we? Stick some monsters in here. What are they going to be? Oh, here we go. We've got some people deciding on some monsters to go in here. Make it a crystal viper. A crystal viper? What is the crystal viper? You're talking about the vipers that come out of the walls? Do we have a trigger for that? I don't even know if we've got a trigger for your vipers. And is it room 5, right? The rune room. 20 large crystal. Crystal vipers come out of the walls and come out of holes in the east wall. When what? When the glyphs are touched. There, that's pretty clear. All right, we've got that done. Now I need to take this. One room could have a name of someone buried here. This room would have a sign reading tread carefully or something like that. The puzzle is you must only step on the name that tiles start. Yes. It is such an obvious puzzle, though. I don't know that there's anywhere that it fits now. I'll take it down, but I'll put that onto my notes. If I can figure out how to make that work. The problem with puzzles is puzzles take up a lot of space to write, I've discovered. And they're also really hard to do. I've talked to Wally Dem a lot. I mean, I've got his book. I've seen his second book, and he's really good at it, but it takes him a long time to come up with the stuff, and they're actually not that easy. All the tiles have names. Sorry, I'm driving. Autocorrect on my phone. Oh, I see. I see what you're trying to say there. Okay. 13 Gul Naga. Well, we're not doing undead, Calrel. We're going with things that aren't undead. So, which is why I said sort of constructs and things that would feed on the bodies. So we've got plenty of snakes going on in here as it is. Okay, here we go. So monsters, monsters, monsters. Give me monsters. We've got time. Hashtag. Give me monsters for locations. Haha. Spider, snakes, rats, grave robbers. We've kobolds. Well, we've got the grave robber. We've got rats. We've got snakes. We've got spiders. 13 can be the feeding ground for a soul shaker, a soul eater that roams the crypt. Okay, so 13. This is your idea, Oscar. Do we want to put a... What is that anyway? I don't even know what it is. Does anybody know what that is? What is a soul shaker? A soul eater. So that's... I'm not too sure what to do with that. So what is a soul eater? Let's have a look. Soul eater. Soul eater magma. Oh, it's a manga idea, is it? Manga. Soul eater. I see. It's a Japanese manga idea. It is. Soul Eater does have a 5e thing going on. So that would be a monster. Monster. Soul Eater. Okay. So, monster. A soul... Now, I'm assuming a Soul Eater is not undead. A Soul Eater... Soul Eater feeds on the memories and the pools water. And the pools water. Okay, so I think I've got your Soul Eater going on. Bone pit, carrion, brown mold, blah 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 blah. Okay, what else have we got here that I need to grasp onto? Confessionary. Oscar, you reckon a confessionary? We put a confessionary in here. Several objects to prepare. Okay, so that's okay. So that would be going in. That would be 8, wouldn't it? How's that going to work? I'm not too sure. Let's go here. Worshipping. Okay. Almost feel like that screaming face is like almost like a blast furnace. Poof. Feels like another trap, actually. That almost feels like that should be and there should be a trap here. And the face is just the face just breathes out fire. Trap. The screaming face breathes fire when anyone anyone something I don't know. Yeah, but I feel like that's definitely a trap. We won't be putting a monster there. That definitely feels like it's the screaming face is a trap, isn't it? It is, isn't it? For sure. Okay, one room. It rains rot grubs on the party when the PCs make noise. We've got rot grubs already. We don't need to have raining rot grubs. We've got rot grubs, not doing rot grubs twice. Sorry, in 5, instead of crystal constrictor snake, make it vipers since vipers are in room. Oh, okay. In 5, instead of crystal constrictor snake, make it vipers. Okay, all right. I made it crystal viper snakes. Yeah, so you still got your 20 vipers, but they're just made of crystal. It's probably the same thing, right? I think we're all good. A grasping mass of humanoid limbs. A soul shaker. Oh, is that what a soul shaker? It feeds on the vitality souls of living. Okay. It sustains itself on the fountain. Yes, I think that's the way to go. 8. Trap face, someone to approach it, emits a scream with a curse. I suppose a curse might be better than fire. Curse or fire, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. A curse. All right, so we've got 8 minutes and we need to get an adventure hook sorted out. And so I've been working along, taking your ideas, plonking them in as best I can. And I think we need to get, our crypt needs some reasons why our players are stupid enough to go here. Like, there's got to be a good enough reason to go here. And so adventure hooks, I think, is the next thing we need to deal with. So I'm going to deal with that in a second. Let's go over here. So here, hashtag, what are the adventure hooks to get the player characters to go into the crypt. Bum bum bum. Let's see what you guys can come up with. And I will we've got an NPC potentially. I take down Cal-Rel. I'm taking down your little idea and putting that into my notes. While you guys come up with some adventure hooks, and I will work through this document and to sort of decide where we need to stick some things. I've got a list of monsters here, so I might as well use them. Hey, all right, so area 1, we've got gargoyles. Don't need to worry about that. The crumbling hole, I don't think we need to have, well, we could have vines, assassin vines. Assassin vines could be in the entryway. We don't have to put monsters and everything, but assassin vines might be good. We could do that also in 3, couldn't we? Although I feel like different entrance ways should have different threats. So let's give the crumbling hole where the vines are, and the bones sort of suggest there's something bad has been going on. So let's do that. Let's mine. Oh, not mine, a monster. So, and assassin. Vine. plant. Assassin vine is growing around the hole and is hostile to everything. Alright, we kind of have foreshadow because there's bones at the bottom of this this hole. So there we go. We've got an assassin vine. That would kind of work nicely. Done. Treasure, not going to worry about. The crypt garden, I don't know that we need to have anything necessarily there. Carrion crawler doesn't seem appropriate. Rock grubs we've done. Let me just cross some things out so I'm not using things over and over again. We've got giant spiders. So don't need to do more giant spiders. Get rid of that. Done rock grubs. We've done a grave robber. We have a grey ooze. So I don't think we need to have an ochre jelly. We've got brown mould. We've got giant rats. Okay. All right. Next. The rune. The rune door, we don't put monsters there because they would get killed by whatever that trap is. So that would make no sense. So we're not doing that. The glyph room has got a monster. It's got snakes. We've got snakes. Weird snakes. They are crystal viper snakes. a little bit different. Next we've got the rats already. This is monsters. We've got grey ooze. We've got traps. The trap breathes fire. If we've got a trap, we can't have a monster because that would just kill the monster, so there's no point. The corpse alcove, it's just like a gold mine of stuff, right? But we could have a carrion crawler that is feeding off the corpses in the alcoves. That would probably be a very sensible place to put them. We've got a monster. We've got rod grubs already, and there. The statues. Somebody had said animated statues. I think that's probably a good place to stick them. And we've got an NPC there. We've got monster. We've got monster. Man, the place is chock-a-block with all sorts of stuff. So I think that's pretty much done, isn't it? I just need to put them in. So this one here, treasure, monster. Monster. A carrion crawler is feeding on the corpses in the alcoves. Alcoves. Okay, that's that. All right. Trap, monster. Giant spiders. That's an NPC, so we don't need that there. Monster. So monster, NPC, monster. We might wind up missing out on a statue, a living statue. Which the problem with statues, they tend to be pretty bloody obvious. Okay, we know what's going on here. Got a monster there already. Trap, monster. At the garden, the crypt garden is the only place where it's just there's nothing going on. You know, I think maybe. I mean, gargoyles are kind of like living statues anyway. So I think we've done the statue thing. I think that's good enough. I think we've got plenty of monsters. There's how many monsters? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. And we don't have something here in the burnt pit with the bones. Out of 15 locations, it's quite a lot. We've got 10. That would make 11 if I put them there. So, all right, I'm going to have a think about that. I'm not too sure what I would put here necessarily that would make sense. And I don't want to put more rock grubs if I can help it. So I think we're pretty close to where we needed to be with monsters, if you ask me. All right, now we need adventure hooks. You guys got some stuff lined up for me? Because we're on the mark now. We're on the marker, on the time. Nothing. Okay, you guys are out of ideas. Oh dear, oh dear. That happens. It's all right. I guess I'll be dealing with that later on. I thought I was be copying and pasting a few things over, but so we have got something generally happening in all those locations. Okay, we've got something happening almost all the time. Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh, here we go. It didn't show up in chat. Sorry about that, people. I've just went and clicked on and ended the poll, and when I ended the poll, all of your suggestions just showed up. So now I need to copy and paste, don't I? So sorry about that. So Oscar Gross, an artificer collector, has posted a reward for the staff, the slithering staff. Okay, all right. So we'll take this idea, drop it in, and paste. Okay, for the slithering staff. Okay, all right. Artifact and artificer and an artifact collector. All right, okay, got it, understood. Next, the countryside is being overrun by giant snakes. The party is sent to retrieve the staff. Okay, Calrel, I can see that. It's a good idea. Nice. The countryside is being overrun by giant snakes. And retrieve the in the characters. Sent. To retrieve the slithering staff. Okay. So we were focusing a lot around that staff, but that's all right. We've got a couple of different reasons why they might be doing this. The players are told that one of the player characters' mother's grave has been tampered with. Yes, let's mess with the player characters. Absolutely. Let's take this. Dear. I got that. That makes sense. And next one, Adventure Hook Oscar. Follow Carell's idea. Some family members ask for a search rescue party for the last party that went to find the crypt. Oh, based on the NPC idea that he had. Okay, so I think I know what you're trying to say here. All right. Really, this is just about somebody going missing, isn't it? That's really what we're dealing with here. So we go down and we tie it to their family, which is always good. A collector of armor and weapons heard of a discovered crypt and is hoping for new artifacts. Okay, all right. So we've got a couple of ideas there. I'll drop them down. That makes 6 in total, which is pretty good. They need a bit of a rework, but that's fine. And the vast majority of our crypt is done. The only thing that probably isn't done is treasure. And I normally spend a bit of time going through and dealing with treasure. So that's all right. That's not the end of the world. I can live with that. And I will, of course, tweak a few things along the way. Is there a bit of lag? Yeah, well, maybe there is lag, but I don't know why would it be at my end? I'm live streaming in 4K, so I'm pretty sure my internet is good enough to be able to handle this. Oh, okay. All right, so suggestion. The stream's current bit rate is is higher than the recommended bit rate. We recommend you use for streaming. Okay, all right, so I see what they're going on about. So maybe that usually isn't the problem. So I've got a higher bit rate and they're having problems with dealing with the amount of data I'm feeding to them. Okay, all right. The PC's local residents are getting overrun by snakes, and the townsfolk have heard rumours of a staff that controls snakes. Okay. This is very similar to something else that has already been written down, so I won't put that down. An evil priest wishes sacrifices for the idols in the crypt and lures parties to the crypt. Explains something in 15. Bones. Oh, the bones in 15. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here. Yeah. Okay, so let's take that idea, drop that in. I think we're good for potential ideas for how to get them there. I think there's probably enough. You could combine all these ideas into one and have the family members' idea being a subplot, role-playing the player's involvement. Well, whenever making adventure hooks, it's always better to pick on the player characters and find something that they are inspired to pursue, even if it is somebody goes missing. Just don't kill their family. Just let them find them. But anyway, it could be a relative. Who knows? So, have you created a crypt adventure for a tabletop role-playing game? Yes, 92%. No, 7%. Incomplete. 0 on both of those. Okay, out of 13 votes. Well, my general feeling is today was pretty productive. We actually got a lot done. To be fair, I probably did a lot of the work before I even started, but then I had to do a lot of adjustments as well. But to be fair, it would not have worked as well as it did if I didn't have some of the crazy ideas. The slithering staff was a great idea. We had some monsters that kind of worked with this. Some of them were naturally sort of part of it. We had some, and we have a potential for. I like the idea of having a type of snake or viper that's made out of crystal. I like that idea. I thought that was nice because you could just use the viper stat block and you're good, or a constrictor snake if you're using 5e. And then I did like the idea of having the giant rat nest. That was good. I liked the what do you call it? The idea for the trap. I think the idea for the trap on 4 being a falling trap rather than a pit trap was a good idea. Like that one too. Rock grubs in corpses is always fun. So yes, we had a little bit of a development with the treasure, because I get very little feedback on what sort of treasure to include, and the corpse alcove. I believe that was Fred Hubert did a nice job of providing me with some very nice details about what's going on here, so that was good. The statues and the giant spiders that are infesting that location, that was a good idea. Like that a lot. And then that means I've got to make a bunch of names, but I guess that's life, right? And then we had a character trapped behind a secret door. I thought that was very clever, that grave robber. I thought that was quite a clever and thing to do. And then I got treasure. Somebody actually provided me with ruby gems and the slithering staff as a relic for that location, which is great. The Soul Eater, I really hadn't thought too much about something like that, but I don't even know what I would use as a stat block for it. You'd have to have a completely new stat block depending on the system. Yes, it all kind of came together in the end. Whew. And I'm not finished, of course, because it'll still require me to sit down and do some nothing through to get it all sort of tidied up to at least to a first draft. But not bad, if you ask me. Pretty good. Pretty good. And that's about 2 hours or just over 2 hours work. It's not the end of the world. I mean, you guys can do it. You know you can. I'm sure. Anyway, I've got to get going. You've got to get going. Hey, thank you to everybody who hung out with me today. Tomorrow I'm talking about adventure writing, and it says advanced adventure writing, and I know somebody had suggested that title, and I'm feeling like it's too snobby. Like I would actually know exactly how to do all of this stuff, and the reality is I think most game designers aren't that good at doing it. And, if you're not a game designer, you probably struggle a little bit as well. You do it your own way. So I might rename that a little bit, but we'll deal with that. And it'll probably be a very short stream, so we'll see how that works out. That's all I can think of right now in terms of that. So that's for tomorrow. But we've got a couple other things that'll happen during the week that should be interesting. So feel free to show up for those. Anyway, I need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. So a huge thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening. Thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon. I will try to make sure I get this up at the end of the week. I know I haven't finished the last one. I'm almost done with the Flying Fortress. It's almost finished. So should be sometime today. I have it done and up on Patreon. Thanks to everybody who took part in the poll. Huge thank you to everybody in the chat in particular. Not just patrons, but anybody who suggested and provided ideas, even if I didn't necessarily use them. Often it spurred something else. It is actually much easier to make an adventure when you work along other game masters, and other people who are providing ideas, whether it's your player or a game master. It really does help. So thank you, Calrel, Oscar Gross, thank you so much. Overboard or Joe, Fred Huber, big, huge thank you again. Who else was in here? Derp, I can't forget Derp as well. Thank you so much, Derp, for your feedback. And if there's anybody I missed in the chat, I was not intending to skip you. Just maybe I just missed you. Oh, Pale Rider. That's right. Pale Rider provided a couple of ideas as well, which was great. And yes, I'm looking forward to doing another one of these next week, because we'll be back next time, same day, same bat channels, and and we'll do this all over again. But wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.